All right, today we're going to talk about the differences between digital marketing and traditional marketing. Now, I have experiences with both. I've used both for this company over the years that we've had it. There's pros and cons about each. There's positive and negatives. There's applications that make sense to use traditional. There's applications that make sense to use digital. And let's go over all that. So before we do any of that, what is traditional marketing and what is digital marketing? So traditional marketing is more like direct mail postcards, flyers, putting things up on cork boards, newsletters, billboards, radio, TV, telephone call, text notifications. That's your traditional marketing, which we use some of those. They're not as effective, but we use some of those. Digital marketing is the internet and social media, basically. So you have, website content, email marketing campaigns, content marketing, social media marketing, AdWords, search engine optimization, things like that. So now, when you're talking about digital marketing, well, let's talk about traditional marketing first, real quick. So in traditional marketing, it tends to be the only things that I think that are, this is my opinion, that I think that are still valuable for the most part, and this is my experience personally, is billboards, maybe TV commercials, and radio. Those are pretty much the ones I think that are still useful, especially if you have a retail center, then I have a billboard up and to drive traffic to your store, right? So in traditional marketing, though, the problem is you get very low engagement, right? You send out a bunch of things, send out a bunch of flyers, you put your name out there, you put your little ad in a yellow page book or a local community, yellow pages or a community newspaper or something like that. You get very low engagement. You also get no way to track who's actually seeing it, and you don't even know if they're getting the book, because a lot of the times when I've signed up for those books, they'll be like, oh, it goes to this many houses and stuff, and then I go to the post office and there's 50 of them in a pile right there that everybody's throwing away. And then I go to another place and there's another 20 of them just dropped off at an apartment complex. So it's like, are they even really getting to who they need to get to in the first place? And then is anybody actually taking the time to actually comb through it for people they want? Or are they just going, hey, Siri, I need this? Or are they going, hey, I'm looking at Google and finding somebody, right? So I've had experiences with advertising in local community papers and books and things like that. And I remember the first time I did it, I got one call that I was able to say came from that, because I was purposely asking to see where they came from, and I got one call out of the whole ad that I ran, and it lasted for a year in that whole book. Now, another example is my mom just, for her business, she's like, oh, passing out a bunch of flyers, and I went out and put out 2,000 flyers a day and for cleaning houses and things like that. And she's like, I only got one response, and I was out there for days putting flyers. I said, Mom, first of all, stop putting out flyers. I was like, why don't you go on like an app like Nextdoor or something and put it on there that you do that, and then have people find you, right? So I'm trying to switch it to digital marketing. So that's just an example that I've been dealing with. But you basically get very low return on investment on traditional marketing, and there's no way to even track it for the most part. So if you're going to go pros and cons, let's talk about pros and cons straight up. So traditional marketing, you get low engagement. Digital marketing, relatively high engagement. Traditional marketing, you get slow conversion rates. You get very fast conversion rates in digital marketing. If you're doing AdWords or something and it's click, phone number, it's calling you, right? So it's real quick. And you can even record that call. And you can even track, oh, this person clicked on it. Here's the person, and here's the call that went with it. Also, in traditional marketing, your investment, your return, there's no way to really measure your return on investment for traditional marketing. And it's very simple to measure in digital marketing. And then the effectiveness of traditional marketing is it's more expensive, it's less effective. Digital marketing is less expensive and more effective. So it's kind of, everything's pointing to digital marketing. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't do any traditional marketing. Like I said, the billboards seem good, commercials seem good, radio still works too. People who listen to radio. So you could also target people. When you're doing digital marketing, you can customize who you're trying to target. Well, I only want to show up for an ad if someone's in this zip code, searching for this keyword, And then you can even put negatives in there on digital marketing. Well, I don't want to show up if they type in this because I don't have enough time to do that job, or I don't have the manpower to do those type of jobs. So if someone types in, I need this, I don't want to show up for that. You put that negative in so you can completely customize it. And now you could, like I said, you could even track and listen to your phone calls, which is what we do. So let's talk about what we do here. What's worked for us, what hasn't worked for us a little more is we do a lot of digital marketing. If you think about all the digital marketing we do social media, we do email marketing, we have a newsletter that goes out, we have content marketing, we have pay-per-click, which is AdWords and things like that, and we do search engine optimization, SEO. SEO is actually pretty expensive, and that's a long-term investment, but if you do it and you do it right over time, it pays off well. Trust me, it does. We're at that point right now. We've been doing it for years, and it's a well-oiled machine now. Things are running really good. You can say, hey, I want to track all these variations of keywords like professional locksmith, automotive locksmith, security camera installer, all these different terms. You can say, I want to track all these words. And then it'll give you can run reports on it and see how high and see how you're rating for those terms. And then create content digitally, which interacts with those terms, which brings you up into the search engine for those terms. So, yes, the times are changing. Traditional marketing just isn't what it used to be. I have thought about getting a billboard. Actually, I think that'll be a pretty good idea, especially maybe if I open up a second shop and then be like, hey, we have 2 locations, go here. Or don't pay high dealership prices on remote car keys, come to Guardian Safe and Lock, things like that. Putting that in the billboard, that would be great. Now, I guess it depends on what your business is and what your trade is as to maybe some things may work for you better than they work for me. But in general, when you're doing traditional marketing, you're going more for that older clientele, that over 50 clientele, and you're going for you're going to get a local following more than you will a big vast following online. You're going to be more tuning to just a targeted little audience and an older audience in general. But older audiences tend to have more money sometimes, so there's a positive for you. But in general, traditional marketing is kind of becoming less and less popular. Some things have evolved, but for the most part, it's getting less and less popular. I still have the local papers contact me, or you'll get this too. You get schools that contact and say, "Oh, we're doing a little calendar thing. We're going to send it all out to the parents, and you'll be the only locksmith. We'll put you on there." I've tried that. That doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. You may get one phone call, but pretty much it just doesn't work too well. At least for us, it doesn't. So if you are wanting to do digital marketing, what I can say to help you out on that is AdWords is the quickest, biggest bang for your buck. You can, like I said, you can target where you want to advertise, what areas, what time of the day, when do you want them on, when do you want your leads off. You can track the calls, you can listen to the calls, you can track the keywords that you want to show up for. You can see how you're ranking for those keywords. I mean, it's all included. You can do everything in there. And traditional, it's just like, here's a flyer, hopefully someone calls me. Here's a book, I'm in the book, hopefully someone calls me. And there's no way of tracking it. So hopefully this helps you out in your business. But search engine optimization, AdWords, those are the 2 big ones on there. Creating blog content, things like that. That'll help get your digital footprint a little bit more out there. And then creating videos like this too, with links. And there's also search engine optimization tied into this video whenever we put it out there, what terms that we're trying to show up for when people are searching for traditional versus digital marketing. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and content that was included. Don't forget we have 2 other YouTube channels. We have Guardian Approved and, of course, our main channel, Guardian Safe and Lock. And we're on all the social media platforms, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks for tuning in.